Hi guys, welcome to Robin Hood Diaries today. I'm glad you could join me. Glad you could be with me. Tonight we're going to, I previewed it as this film my dad did called Dr. Heckle and Mr. Hype, based on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I'm going to try to keep track of who's the good guy. So let's dive in. This is 1979. It was a 1980 release. My dad had just done a film in the Philippines, some schlockerama killer fish movie called Up from the Depths. Actually, I previewed a clip the other night of the movie Videodrome, the Cronenberg movie in The Office. There's a big picture of my dad's movie, Up from the Depths, this fish movie. So the fish movie was, let's put it into context. This is a Roger Corman film. Roger Corman and Roger Corman Productions is responsible for many talent that you know of, have seen. He famously gave Jack Nicholson his first part as the patient to the dentist in Little Shop of Horrors. He gave Mr. Spielberg one of his first big shots in 1972 in a film called Something Evil, made for television. One of his first, really first 2 to 3 big shots. Let's wrap. So he was responsible for a lot of these people early in their careers doing low budget film. Like I said, if you Google it, it'll probably say, the Howard Hughes of schlock. Well, yeah, he knew what he was doing, and it went on for decades. My dad, like I said, worked with him on Up from the Depths. My dad had done Hell's Angels on Wheels and The Limit and the Jesus Trip, and 4 Roger Corman films before the Fish movie. And so the Fish movie's over, and my dad comes back, and what does he do? Lands another Roger Corman film. The production designer on the Fish movie, Up from the Depths, ended up being my surrogate mother of 28 years. I refer to her as Delia, that was her name, and she was my best friend beyond that for nearly 30 years. And we don't really talk much about her, except in the context of these kinds of things, activities. She also came back from Fish movie to work with Chuck Griffiths, the director, who my dad had also worked with, under Roger Corman, producer. And so she's here, he's here, he lands this role with Chuck in the Roger Corman vehicle for Oliver Reed, the British actor, famous, intensely talented British actor, famous womanizer, famous, macho man. He was famously, Shelley Winters threw a drink in his face on the Tonight Show because he made some sexist remark. I don't know. He'd be the first to admit it. Gotta love the guy. No, you don't. So Dr. Heckle and Mr. Hype is this art film, basically, if you can call it anything. It was written up in Cahiers du Cinema. The production design, the lighting alone, it's been studied. It really has. And it's a very, very, very hard to find cult classic film. My dad plays Il Topo, the rat, the detective that is after the Jekyll and Hyde, Heckle and Hype character, played by Oliver Reed. Oliver Reed turns in a performance on the nice guy side, where he's all kind of covered, mangled, you can't really see anything. He's green, carrot nose and everything. But you would never know that this was Oliver Reed. You would never know. The bad guy part, dapper Mr. Hyde, yeah. You can, it's Oliver Reed all over the place, smeared all over the place, because he's this dapper kind of killer guy. And mayhem ensues. Maya Danziger, Mel Wells, all of these ensemble Corman actors were all in this film, wrapped up with my surrogate mom, who was the production designer, wrapped up with Chuck, who had directed my dad in this, the 5th Roger Corman movie he had done, and Oliver Reed, who was let's just put all the other stuff aside, we have to with some artists, or we don't, and focus on how brilliant the man was. And my dad was a pretty brilliant actor in and of himself, and they were like pals in the weirdest, oddest kind of way, which we'll get into. But this was beautifully shot. It was shot, the jail scene was the old zoo, cages in the old LA Zoo. Beautiful Mediterranean, apartment complexes and homes and stuff in West Hollywood. There was a chaplain. Chaplin made this like little apartment complex that like little castles, and like you go into this, it's like a different Disneyland world and whatever. Well, these were all these beautiful scenes and all these beautiful sets and production design and lighting that have been studied, by French cinematographers and stuff. Well, I was there for 3/4 of it because my dad was shooting in LA. I'm all over it. I mean, you think I'm not going to be there in '79, right? When I'm like careening into the bad years, I'm already like, going to like rock rehearsals and stuff like that with folks associated with this film. But anyway, amazing film. If you can rent, buy, find, whatever, see a clip of it, just look at like 30 seconds of it. Again, ensemble cast, amazing cast, beautiful story. I mean, I'm telling you, the performance that Reed pulls off turns in this film as the nice guy, the Dr. Jekyll or Heckle, you would never know. If your feet were to the fire, you wouldn't know that was Oliver Reed. I don't know what planet he was on when he did that movie, because I'm well versed in his films. So, and of course, my, again, surrogate mother, best friend, had a massive crush on him, and it was really hard not to, you guys. Like, even I hate to say it, had kind of a weird crush on Oliver Reed. There was something about, it was like magic, like, you just felt it, I don't know, like you were around Brando or something, I don't know. And speaking of which,